So today I'm going to show you how to do the newer beachier wave. I'm going to be using an 1.25" curling iron, and I've got actually 2 curling irons today to show you. This Bioionic is a shorter, more traditional length, where this Bioionic is a newer, longer length. Now, for the longer length curling iron, that's going to be more for the people with really, really long hair that the traditional length of curling iron can't get it all in. So I'll show you both of them. My hair is long. It's not super long as for some people, I guess you could say. So I'll show you both of them and you can kind of get an idea of which one might be right for you. So I'm going to start today by taking a horseshoe section, because you don't want to curl a whole big chunk of hair because you're not really going to get the evenness of nice curls. So I'm going to take a horseshoe section. I usually just do like this. And then clip that out of the way. So you can see you've got a nice horseshoe section. Then I'm going to begin with using Pureology Soft Finish hairspray, and you can use any softer holding hairspray or working spray, just something that's a little bit more misty, not a heavier finishing spray. So I usually take about the same width as the curling iron that I'm going to be using. Spray that section. And I'm going to start with the shorter barrel curling iron. So to do the more traditional curl, you usually hold at the base here to get as much volume as you can get. And I've pulled the ends, as you can see, all the way through here. So this is more of your traditional curl. And if you hold it at the base here, instead of going all the way out to the end and then rolling it up, you're going to get more volume. So this is just more of your traditional curl, okay? See how you have the volume right there? So now on this side, I'm going to show you the newer, beachier way. So you're going to do about the same thing, except for you're going to leave those ends out. Let it sit. And then you're going to twist out. So you're going to come down and around and around and around, and then pull it down just to get that very end out of the way. So here you can see the two differences of the curl pattern. So your curl pattern is pretty curly yet, but it's a lot more straight down, where this is more wound. So as you can see, there's a little bit of difference between the two. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with this curl pattern all the way around. I just wanted to show you the traditional curl and what the difference is. It's nice to comb through your sections too, so you don't have any tangles or anything. Plus then it evens the spray when you get that in. My ends are out. Then after that's been on for a little bit, then you just twist out as you're coming down, and then just loosen your barrel just a little bit, just to get that end out. I'm going to switch to this side, and I'm actually going to use the longer barrel this time. Same thing. Leaving just that little bit out. and then you're going to twist out. As you can see with my not so long hair, it's a lot of barrel. So if you have hair, you know, down much longer than mine, it's gonna be easier because you will be more down here than trying to twist out up here. So for my hair, the shorter barrel works better. We've only got about 2 sections left back here. Let's see if I can show you that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to, instead of doing that whole section, I'm gonna divide it in half and do the top and the bottom of that. Okay, now that we have our sections, we'll go ahead and move to the top here. Find where you want your part to be. Okay. So then you'll have all of this hair that hasn't been curled. Take your first section and just keep on going. Okay, and then you have all your sections complete. Now what I like to do is I like to let this cool so that the curls stay longer. And there's a couple different ways that you can comb these out. I will show you that in just a little bit. Okay, so now that my curls have cooled, it's been about 5 to 7 minutes. I'm going to show you a couple different ways that you can comb through them to get the desired beachy wavy look. My personal favorite is a wide tooth comb like this. You can use a brush or simply use your fingers. So we all have our fingers, so that would be pretty easy for you to do if you don't have either of those two. So what you would do is you would just rake through like this. You're gonna get more of a cohesive beachy wave if you use a brush or one of those wide tooth combs versus your fingers. So I'm gonna show you the wide tooth comb on one side and a brush on the other. So since I've already sprayed light finishing hairspray on here, I don't need any more product, especially since I started with a good foundation of a thermal spray, a volume spray, and then the hairspray that I use while curling. See how that's just a little bit more beachy instead of spiral curls, and it kind of gives you that first bump of a wave. It kind of reminds me of, if you ever remember finger waves, it's kind of like that. So kind of just using that comb to rake through. And you can make that as separated or as cohesive as I was talking about, just like how I'm going to do with the brush. So you can see the difference between this side and this side. So now I'm going to go ahead and use a brush on this side. So see how it's more of a beachier, you can make it more romantic by leaving them together. Typically I will flip my head upside down and shake it a little bit too after I've brushed it out. So I'm going to show you the back with the brush as well. So now I just typically like to do one of these little zhuzhes, if you will. Just gives it a little bit more bounce, especially when you let it cool. You get that curl to stay just that much better. So sometimes I'll take and I'll flip my head upside down and spray it from underneath, so then it gets a little bit more hold for what I'm looking for. So I'm going to do that. Bigger is better, right? So yeah, there you go. More of that tousled beachy look rather than a traditional spiral curl.